Hello, my spooky friends, and welcome to another 31 Days of Halloween video. Today's video is going to be yet another eye art look. Since we are going to work today, there is literally no need to put on a full face of makeup for this, but I felt like it. So first I am priming with the Milk Hydro Grip Primer, and you guys need to know that my fingers were like ice cold. It is so cold in my apartment, the changing of the seasons is getting to me, so that woke me up almost as much as my 3 cups of coffee, as well as my Ariana Grande dance party, which is absolutely what I'm doing here. And now I'm using the NARS Sheer Glow Foundation in the color Deauville. Deauville? Yes. As well as the Morphe concealer in the color 1.45, aka super freaking pale. Brows we apparated from another dimension, which is why they look so weird, and of course we are priming our eyes with the P.LOUISE base in the color Rumour 02. For today's look, you should know we are not doing a cut crease. Oh my god, who is she? I don't know, but I kinda like her. Instead, we are going to be using the JACLYN Hill Volume 2 palette. As always, you guys know that you are not tied to any of the products that I'm using. Use whatever it is that you have on hand, your own color scheme, if you prefer whatever floats your boat. But I will be telling you which colors I used from this in case you own it and you want to create this look exactly. With a big fluffy brush, we are first tapping out the color Therapy Sesh, which is kind of like a rich lavender shade into our crease and a little bit higher towards our brow, but not all the way up to the brow. I stipple or tap in order to get the color to displace evenly and laid exactly where I want it before I switch to that scrambled egg or windshield wiper motion to blend. I also used a Vermona color switch to knock off any excess color, and then I dipped into Certified, which is a creamy white, on that same brush. And we're going to use this to hit the very top edge of that initial color that we just placed, and we're going to blend it up and out to the brow. Then I'm going to take this really pretty plummy color called Stay True, and we are going to deepen our crease with that. And then we're gonna pick up this super rich cranberry color, literally one of my favorite colors in the palette. This is called Crazy. That's gonna go across our entire lid. Overall, I did feel like the look kind of lost its like purplish kind of vibe and was gearing a little bit more to like the pinky reds. So in order to add a little bit more of that purple back, I picked up the color Not My Journey, which I don't think I can say normally. It's always some kind of sass. So we're taking that color and we are going to tip tap patty whack right here in the very like center of our crease and just add some of that like purplish tone back to our look. We're gonna pick up a small flat packing brush and we are gonna run all of those same shades that we used up top down here below into the lower lash line. And you'll notice that when I get to the very corner, I'm kind of like flicking that color out. I started first with my mid-tone. We used that Stay True color, and then we followed up with more of like a bright pink. I believe this is Tipsy Girl, just to kind of smoke out that lower lash line here. And then finally, I picked up a little bit more of that Crazy, because you can never have just a little crazy. You're either full crazy or you're not. You know what I mean? And we are gonna run that in the very like lower 1/3 of that lower lash line. There's this super beautiful like white shade that has like a pink shift to it right next to Certified in this palette. This is called I'm In It, and this has got like the perfect bit of reflect for what we're going for today. So I'm gonna be picking that color up also on a fluffy brush, and I'm gonna hit the brow bone here, and then going back with that flat packing brush, I'm going to pack that right here in the very inner corner to be our inner corner highlight today. And maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Since this is a more traditional like beauty kind of look, but I felt a little bit dead without some kind of like warmth or color to my face after that foundation, I did go ahead and bronze using the Morphe 8F palette, and then it was time for the fun stuff. So I added a little bit of blush from that same palette to my cheeks, but I decided just here that I really wanted to like up the drama of this glitter, and so I'm going to be picking up the BH Cosmetics Aurora Lights palette, and I'm going to be feathering these top 2 pinky purple shimmer shades with a big fluffy brush down from the outer corner of the eye and sweeping that around and into the cheek. I believe this is a technique that's called feathering. I watched them talk about it on Glow Up. I'm just living for what that did for the face, and also still dancing to Ariana Grande. And now on to the eye art portion of today's eye art look. So I used the Morphe white concealer, placed a little on the back of my hand, and then I actually took this very tiny like detail smudge brush. I took the back of it, the rounded portion, and I dipped into that concealer and then dotted out to where I wanted our little moon to be here on the face. I like using this concealer instead of water activated paint because it doesn't need that extra step of building up your own kind of consistency with water, and because it dries down super, super fast. So it was perfect for today's on the go eye art kind of look. Once you have your moon, it is time to create some clouds. You're just going to saturate the very tippity top of this rounded brush with some of your product, and then instead of going in, it kind of looks like I'm going in from like underneath because I was trying to make sure that I could film this at the same time. But your goal when you go to tap this color out here onto your actual lid is to go in almost perpendicularly, because you want to have very, very precise control over exactly where you're placing this product. And you'll notice that because this is already a rounded brush, like a rounded surface, every time I press into the eye, it creates that cute little like whew, or puff for me. So it's almost like cheating. As the brush loses some of its product, because it only has what you put on initially, it'll actually kind of feather itself out for you and therefore give your cloud like a little bit of a gradient. I actually picked up that flat packing brush that we used earlier on our lower lash line, and with whatever color was left over, I didn't pick up any new product. I kind of tapped into certain parts of the clouds just because you would be able to see some of the night sky reflected into the clouds, or maybe the clouds are like dispersing in such a way that it is like almost entirely sheer. So in order to make this look a little bit more realistic, that is what we did here. And then after that, I picked up the Morphe white liquid liner. This is the color Blank Slate. It's the only color that they have, but in case you're wondering, it is officially called Blank Slate, and we are going to actually be hitting just the tippity top of some of our cloud peaks to further emphasize them, and then we are going to be outlining our moon as well. And while we have this out and we are working on a night sky, you guys know I can't avoid throwing in some dots. So we also threw in some dots. All right, and now we're on to possibly the hardest part, and I know that I put a mirror in front of my face for half of this, so bear with me. I really wanted this to be a Halloween look, and as much as I love our pretty little night sky, it definitely needed something to kind of contrast with it. So we are going to be drawing little bats, and we did freehand this with a liquid liner. This is the color Blackout from Morphe. The best advice I can give for sitting here and trying to draw bats is to start with the body and flick out your wings from there. I actually had several different like bat silhouettes, from cartoons to real bats, just pulled up on my phone as a reference image so that I could make sure that even if it wasn't the most anatomically correct bat that I ever painted, that you could definitely tell from looking at it what it was. Although I did have a man at work ask me if I was wearing the Bath & Body Works Blossom logo on my eyeballs. I did tell him no. I don't actually think he believed me. So we drew a few bats onto both of our little eyeballs, and then I also added a couple black dots to symbolize bats that were a little bit further away, and also because I thought the added texture would be nice. We threw on some mascara, added lashes off camera, and then thought we were done, but realized that we looked a little bit naked without some kind of lipstick on, and so I threw on a gloss. That wasn't good enough, so picked up the Fetish Mauve color from the NABLA Cosmetics line, and I popped a little bit of that here on top of that purpley gloss that I just used. All right, you guys, and that is going to be it for today's 31 days of Halloween video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's look. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you are not already. Have a very fun, safe, somewhat spooky day, and I will see you beautiful people in tomorrow's video. Bye.